Good morning, big dogs. Welcome back to another long haul crew video. It is Sunday, June 28th. We got a full day with me, just seeing kind of what it's like while I'm in school, and then it's also a week one recap for you. So I've just been making breakfast and making some coffee. The things we got on the agenda today are we're going to be going to church, I gotta mow, and then I gotta do some meal prep. So those are the three things I'm gonna take you along with, and we're gonna talk. I also have some pretty exciting news I'm gonna put in this video later on that we'll talk about, and I'll be curious to see what your guys' thoughts on it all are. So let's get to it. So this morning for breakfast, I got this pico that my wife made, and the sun's hitting it just right. I just gotta show you, look how fresh and clean that is. I got the sourdough bread, and then we bought these eggs from a friend of Sherry's, my wife that she works with. She has chickens. Got straight from the chicken eggs. So before I go ahead and eat this and get ready for church, I just wanted to real quick talk about within the school. It sucks. They got bought out by a bigger institute. So I can't film while at school or anything. It's a media release thing, and frankly, it just became more of a hassle for me to film than not. You know, there's only like 10 people watching these right now, and it just didn't seem worth the hair pull, if you will, to get content like that. But what I'm gonna want to do anyway is recaps for you. We'll do a little more day in the life stuff and like document my thoughts as I move into the trucking space and doing that as my job, and like how I want to balance home time, my food, exercise. Like we'll go through that stuff, but I just won't be able to get anything actually of the school, so I wanted to let you know that. But I'm gonna get after this, get ready for church, and then I'll see you in the car. All right, long haul crew, we are heading to church right now. It is an absolutely beautiful day. Kind of windy and a little bit warm. It's supposed to be like a hotter day here in Kansas City, but I'm really digging it. It feels like a summer day, you know? And while we head to church, I just wanted to real quick talk about specifically on my first week, the first day. At my school, at least, they primarily focused on the types of jobs you could get as well as the pay. And if I could just give a piece of advice, especially something I kind of witnessed with my class, so it was a very small sample, and I witnessed it honestly in the military too, is you got to be careful when they throw numbers and money at you. You need to know your personal situation before you just go to the job that pays the most, because especially in this trucking, it's pretty life-changing for most people. So just be cognizant of your own finances and be responsible. Know what your minimum pay you need to be making is, and then anything over that's just a blessing, right? But you know, if you have higher expenses, then obviously, you know, you have no choice to go choose those higher paying jobs. And I say no choice because I don't want to go speaking on other companies, but you'll see as you go through the CDL stuff, and as you talk to truckers at trucker stops, or if you just are already a driver, you know, you'll see that. So just be careful. Also with that, they talked about what the weeks were going to look like, and specifically we were going to be going over a pre-trip inspection. The rest of the week was sort of given to us to get our CDL permit, but I had already gotten mine, so I didn't have to go to class Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. But Monday, they also told us to start applying. So I applied to a couple companies, and I'll let you know how that interview, specifically with one of them, went. And I'm excited to tell you guys about some next future things coming. All right, so we just pulled into church. We're going to go in. We start a new sermon message. So I'm excited to see what topic they're going to cover. And then we're going to have to go get some fuel in my wife's car, and then I'll go home and tell you guys my news as well as what went down on Friday when I went back to school after missing Tuesday through Thursday. It's funny how, because of gas being like $3.54, but it used to be like $4.25 like a month ago, you're like, oh, I'm saving so much money, but I'm still paying $3.50. That's my beef with gas right now. Church itself today was cool. It was over When Life Isn't Fair, so I thought that was a good little message for personal stuff that I don't really want to get into, but it's like, understanding that God has mercy. And so that was a cool message. But yeah, so we're going to get some gas now, and then we're going to head home, and then I'm going to take you guys to mow. It's not a beer, but a sparkling water is basically the same. All right, so my big news for you. I applied, interviewed, and then got the job at Dot Transportation. They're a family-owned, bigger shipper. I'm going to be specifically doing refrigerated touch freight. So obviously everything I load into the truck, I will have to unload. So the process was honestly, definitely, I think, a sign, call from God. I waited till Thursday of this week to start to start applying. And I went to apply on their website. They are a company that my school is partnered with. And to be a partner with my specific CDL school, they have to provide that additional training after you graduate CDL school in order to increase your overall, safety ratings, your experience level, all that stuff, just, a safety precaution. So these are companies that they see that I go to my school, and it increases my chances a little bit. But yeah, I went Thursday night in the afternoon, like 5 o'clock. I went to apply on their website, and they had just opened 45 minutes prior a position specifically for the type that I wanted to do. So it was perfect. So I applied. I would assume I was probably the first one to apply, given the fact it was 45 minutes since it had been posted on their website. And then I went to my interview the very next day. They wanted me to go. I thought it went well. I was a little uncomfortable, more because I hadn't had a interview for like in my mind, a real job since getting out of high school. I didn't really know what to expect, but overall it was not any different than any other job I had in school. What are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, name a time where my boss did something that I didn't like and it made a safety concern for me or something like that. Another one was just like a time where I had failed as an employee or as a leader. So, you know, basic, that's usually pretty normal. So I would not be intimidated by that when you go to interview. Then they told me they wouldn't call me until Monday or Tuesday of this coming week. And then they actually called me that same afternoon and gave me a position. And I had already talked with my wife. I had prayed about it. So it was a no-brainer. I accepted it. On the schedule, because obviously trucking is kind of known for grittier hours, I will be doing 4 days of driving, 4 days off, which is pretty sick. So what I like about that is I'm sacrificing pay. I'll be making enough that I will not have to change anything about my current lifestyle, which is what I would love to have. But I drive 4 days in a row, live in the truck, and then I come home for 4 straight days. And I stay home, and I only work extra if I want the overtime / extra pay, because obviously I'm paid by the load and everything. I will start that July 27th. I graduate the 17th. I am very excited to take you guys along on that, because I will have to do an orientation that starts on the 27th all the way up in Illinois. I will stay there for a week in a hotel, go to their main HQ. I will get taught all their stuff, and it'll be very interesting. I'm excited to take you guys along on that. That was my big news. If you are curious about pay, I'll be transparent. I'm supposed to be making about 60 grand a year. After taxes, realistically, it'll probably be about $1,000 a week, which to some of you, that's not a lot of money. I'm very aware, but for me, it's enough. It's not about your money. You can be making $1 million and still be broke. It is cost of living. If you have a low cost of living, then everything above it is just butter. You know what I mean? It's just great. It's great to have. So be thankful. And then if you need a different number, that's okay. It's a full-time position, full-time benefits. My wife is about to get here. She's surprising me with some food. She texted me that I'm getting a pork tenderloin from a restaurant she went to with her friend this afternoon. Very excited. She knows I've been talking about how I haven't had a pork tenderloin in like years, and I want, one of those ridiculously large ones, so I'm excited to show you. Stay tuned. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a pork tenderloin. That is 2 if you ask me, but I'm gonna try and eat as much of this as I can, and then we'll go into meal prepping. Big dogs. All right, we are cooking some meal prep for the week. I got some grass-fed ground beef going down, and then I've got a chicken sausage, mild sweet Italian flavor. Pretty excited. All I'm gonna be doing is having that with rice. I don't really prep the rice earlier just because obviously it's really not good after like a day. One thing I did forget was specifically why I chose DOT Transportations. I ended up personally choosing DOT Transportation because of that schedule, because I wanted to do over the road, get the experience of running into DOT officers, doing highway, going into cities, not getting used to my local city that I'm in, but I wanted to be more diverse. But I also wanted to be able to be home more often for however much I'm actually on the road. I think that's because of coming from my previous career. I want more home time. That is a very personal thing, which again, I sacrificed money because of that. So if that's not something you can do, you have to make your own sacrifices. But again, you got to know your bottom line. You got to know that minimum amount of money you have to make, so that anything more than that is seriously just icing on the cake, for real. It's just extra. It's okay to not know what to do with it. Just invest it. It'll grow. With that being said, once I cook all this up, we'll plate it up, and then I'll talk to you guys about what I'm kind of foreseeing for this coming week. Big dogs, this is the end. I appreciate you coming along. What I'm about to do the rest of this evening is fill out some employment documents for DOT Transportation, and then I am going to edit this and try to get it out as soon as I can. As we go through this next week, the main things that are gonna happen is more pre-trip inspection stuff, more yard skills in regards to different driving techniques. So I'll do more straight line backing, and then some of the other ones as well as I prepare to take my actual test in 2 weeks. It'll also be cool because then next weekend I'm going to take you guys along. I have some pretty exciting things going on for 4th of July. I'm working for a friend of mine who runs a very unique business. I'm going to be working in an event with him. I doubt you'll guess what it is. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Long Haul Crew. Until next time.